that people have.
Mm.
What I mean
One
by
third, bro.
ghost villages. Yeah. So what I mean by ghost villages is that people have abandoned their houses, their homes, and it's just now maybe barren fields and empty houses
Mm.
because of lack of livelihood, climate change, and mostly it is a lack of livelihood in the mountains in the higher altitude. So the
Mm.
altitude which I am working at is Kasar Devi is 2000 meters above sea level or 6500 feet above sea level. And
Mm.
my farmers and the area, the geography at which I work it is basically 2000 to 3500 meters. So
Mm.
from 6500 meters to approximately 12,000 feet above sea level uh,
Mm.
in my state, in Uttarakhand specifically. And 70% population in Uttarakhand is basically into farming, but there's no value addition
Mm.
because of no industry in in this side of the world. And most of the farmers in the mountainous areas basically they have a land holding of 0.68, 0.6 hectares approximately 0.62, and Uttarakhand's average is 0.98 hectares because Uttarakhand also has some plain areas basically. The mountain average, the mountain side of the average is 0.6 something, and this
Mm.
is the geography in which we were. There's a lot of out migration. So basically, 100 years back, my Dadaji had out migrated. That is my story. And after 100 years, I kind of came back uh, and started this. So we started working for us. The when we did the whole study on ground, what is the problem and challenges, we also saw at the same time in 2018, the Uttarakhand state government had legalized hemp cultivation for industrial application. So traditionally, also it is part of our culture, basically, where in Uttarakhand, it's the only, I would say, it's the only culture in the world where hemp is part of the culinary and traditional culinary experience also. So we have it as food, hemp seeds, and we have it as a chutney, as a sauce, and also as a salt, basically, hemp seed salt or a seasoning. So it's part of our culture. The earlier times, people used to make hemp ropes. That is quite famous across, right? They used to make hemp ropes for cattle and everything before nylon came. So this art was already existing, and I'll show you some things also. I'm sitting in my store, so I'll just show you some samples. Uh, so then we saw some problems in after 2018 when we did our field survey, that there was unorganized market and underutilization of hemp. Unorganized market because it was very nascent. It is still very nascent in India, and even globally, the hemp industry is very nascent. That's why there's a rapid growth also in the market. Uh, then there are like no proper market linkages, and then there's no standardization also. There's no quality control that was happening at that time because of the unorganized market. And then there were problems like stigma. People also relate cannabis to intoxication, and then there was a policy paradox. So all of these things were always like a challenge, and that is where we tried to fit in and come into picture. So we started creating an ecosystem for hemp in India. We started in 2019 with all the field surveys, pilot, and collaborations we can. These are some of the products that you can see in the frame. There's hemp bhang ka namak, which is bhang is Hindi word for cannabis. It's basically a hemp seed salt or a hemp seasoning, which you can actually put it on any pasta, pesto, even. So we have even exported it to Italian markets. There's hemp seed flour, which is like a millet flour, but it's basically just 42 grams protein in a 100-gram packet. So it's actually a lot of protein, and one can just add it to like their normal. One can make sushi out of it, just to simplify, and use it as a flour. And this paste that you see here, it's basically constructed out of hemp. So we have used, this is our factory right now. So we have made our factory from hemp only. We have used it in construction also. And this is the store basically where I'm sitting inside. Uh, so this is currently where I'm doing my presentation from, and this is our retail outlet. So we started India's first hemp store at Kasar Devi. We currently have two of our own company-owned stores in Uttarakhand itself, in Kumaon region itself, uh, and we also sell in Ladakh and other places in India currently. So this is the business model that we have right now. We work with more than 2,000 women farmers, and of these 2,000 women farmers, 70% of them belong to the marginalized sections of the society, tribal and as well as Indian caste system wise also. And then this locally done in-house and cluster-based primary processing that happens. Basically, if a farmer is, the whole idea that which we started was if the farmer is cultivating, if they can also value add at his own site in cluster, we can pay them more, right? It's just uh, very simple logic, nothing. So that is something that we are trying to do, so that they can do the grading, sorting, cleaning, and all of these things. We are also helping them with technology transfer for that. Then there's a manufacturing unit at Kasar Devi. We have our own factory where we process hemp into hemp foods. We process for hemp seed oil. We process for hemp seed flour and other things. Then we started our own retail outlets, and we also sell on Amazon in India. We are live in Amazon and other platforms as well. We do bulk manufacturing also. We have exported to countries like Turkey, UK, and Singapore. Singapore, we sent our natural hemp fabric. Uh, we have distribution across more than 250 stores in India's tourist economies. And our vision is to work with 10,000 farmers in the next 3 years, scaling up and matching the demand and supply, basically. These are the categories of products that you can see that we work with. One is hemp food. So hemp food is rich in protein. It has more protein than eggs also, and more protein than milk also and eggs also. And it has ideal ratio of omega 369. It's really an anti-aging food. So Buddha had only hemp seeds in his entire life, nothing else. Like Buddha survived on hemp seeds, nothing else. And this is something that we process in our own facility. We do CBD and skincare. Basically, CBD is basically a medicinal form of the plant. It's again no intoxication. One can just use it for sleep management, cancer care, and other things. It's a very rehabilitative thing. It's basically a natural form of relaxant. It's not an opioid. So a lot of people who take morphine and other sleeping pills and other things, it's a natural substitute for them. So it's again in higher demand. Skincare, so we do like a lot of things, lip balms, face creams and other things. I think Satoko has also used some. And hemp fashion is basically where we use the fabric to make where we use the hemp fiber to make fabric out of it. And there's hemp jackets, hemp t-shirts. So I'm also wearing a hemp t-shirt inside, basically. So it's very breathable fabric. It's antimicrobial, and these are certain qualities of the whole plant. We did the whole market analysis. There's a big market where we can also in the next 3 years try and capture 180 CR INR of the whole market, 180 crores of the market, that is USD 21 million. And this is the global market size. We also did internal analysis of the hemp seed and hemp fiber, which I'll be happy to share. So hemp fiber is growing at approximately 33% CAGR, and hemp seed is growing at 9% CAGR. So these are the two industries at which we did the whole thing. This was the analysis that we did so this analysis is very uh, focused to Indian competitors so far. But there are brands like Forest Essentials. There are other brands as well, which basically have a hemp range. Like a lot of companies today, global companies, global skincare companies will have a hemp range, right? Not but we project ourselves as a hemp company, where we are kind of working on the end-to-end hemp thing, right? And there are certain brands which are also similar in that respect, like Bombay Hemp Company, which is in India. There's Health Horizons, there's Noigra. Where we come into picture is that we work at the source. At the source where the raw material is coming from. That's where we are kind of integrating farming and manufacturing, because our manufacturing is also happening at the source. So we are not taking the raw material to maybe any city, Delhi, Mumbai, where we are processing. We have clean air, clean water. We are kind of giving or rather creating opportunities for the local livelihood. So they don't have to out migrate to work in a factory in Delhi, or that's the whole idea. These are certain SDGs that we try and solve through our actions and through our impact. One is zero hunger. in through our own manufacturing of hemp food, we have more than 20 gram protein in the raw form and 40-gram protein in the process and 100-gram servings. Uh, we create decent work and economic growth opportunities, and we try and do innovation in the Himalayas. So this is an attempt basically where nobody is trying to do anything because it's neglected areas, and people are already moving out for better jobs and other things. We're just trying to create a micro industrial clusters and certain form of industry in the Himalayas so that farmers can get more income and they can remain farmers. Then we are also working on climate action basically. So we are promoting local seeds which are non-GMO, no genetically modified this thing. Hemp is also like a vegan option, a gluten-free option, and then there's a big opportunity with carbon sequestration also. So an acre of hemp land sequesters 4 times more carbon dioxide than a forest land. So there's a big opportunity with carbon sequestration and carbon market as well. So we have some partnerships going on with some UK companies as well, and we are in dialogue with them for carbon sequestration model as well for the whole impact that we are creating. Uh, so far, this is our revenue, where we have done an aggregate revenue of INR 70 lakhs since 2021, since we incorporated. 2022-23, we did around 24 lakhs. This year, we will, like 24, we will close around 50 lakhs. And the next year, 24-25, basically the current year that is, we plan to reach around 1.5 CR, basically. And this is the team that you can see. There's me, there's Sangeeta ji. She is again on the community side of the things. She is a community engagement officer. She is again from here. Anuj is here as an advisor. We have a broader team also. We have more people in the team who kinds of helps us in the retail management and the stores that we have, and even in the factory. So in total, we have 7 full-time employed people on our salary basis, and farmers and other things. We have around 400 direct farmers. Uh, so this is something that we want to work on the future. Uh, One is basically also we want to have some innovation going on here. Basically, where we want to build a hemp in situ hemp database management for farmers, technology, cluster-based data seed product quality assessment. This is something basically where we want to actually kind of create technology in the Himalayas and innovate in the Himalayas. And when we have this thing going on, I think that will really amplify the whole ecosystem that we're trying to create. Other things are more operational, uh, like operations are anyway going on, but uh, our main focus is now building and stepping up the whole ecosystem dialogue that we are trying to build. These are some real images of things. This image is basically store images from last year. So we actually started from scratch. The store used to be what I can say a dhaba or like a restaurant, local street side restaurant. And then we converted into a store in back in 2021. Uh, this is how it looks now on the right. Like we have done the store as well as the factory just where I mean this is at the same location. And this is how we work with this is like a farmer story that we have. So we have farmer data of more than 400 farmers, offline data as well as online data. So we fill out a form where we ask them their age. So we have farmers who we take their mobile number, their age, their name, um, also the category to the basically general category, tribal category, and like the Indian categorization of them. Then we ask them how much land do they have under cultivation. We ask them do they cultivate hemp. Then we also process it for our basic. This is under the whole initiative we call Hemp for Himalayan Livelihood. Basically, this is the initiative what we call Hemp for Himalayan Livelihood, and this is basically the story that. Sorry, yeah. So this is her story basically. Neema ji basically. So she has a family of 5, and all of it is dependent on agriculture. Similarly, we have 400 more women and much larger family size when we see. Uh, and we also keep doing some outreach engagement activities and other things. So Kasar Devi has like a lot of European and tourists from across the world. Actually, it's a very cosmopolitan place. So we keep getting people from across the world. We did this. We organized an event here in our site itself, which was like a Himalayan startup roadshow. We had startups from Ladakh. Satan Siachen Naturals was here, and other startups were also here exhibiting. Uh, and this is a photo from 2019 when one of my college professors also visited, and like very initial photo. So this is our certification for hemp. So we have particularly hemp specific license for manufacturing hemp seed and seed products. This is our basically food license for this is just general information about hemp basically. It is very sustainable crop. It grows everywhere in the world. It's not just very limited. Just that the quality difference will be there. In the Himalayas, it's a Himalayan origin crop, and it started from the Indian Himalayas and Nepal, basically, the Hindu Kush region, and then it spread across the world. So we have still the original seed, basically, the original non-GMO seed, and we are using that for high quality fiber and high quality food, which is no intoxication, other things. This is like, this is it from my side. Yes.
Thank you, Pavitra. I got a few questions. First of all,
Yes.
what does KumaonKhand mean?
Kumao is this place where I belong from. So
Ah,
it's like Kumao is actually like so Uttarakhand is the state name and Kumao
mm-hmm.
is where I come from. So like just like
Ah, okay.
Alsisar, Alsisar is also a place in Rajasthan, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Alsisar is also named after the company Alsisar Impact is also named after a place. So Kumao
Mm-hmm.
Khand for me because I come from this place which is called Kumao.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
see. I
So
see.
and
Got it.
Khand means part. Khand is part, like a
Ah,
part of
okay.
something.
So I see. So Uttarakhand is okay. Uttarakhand,
Yeah.
KumaonKhand, part of it.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. Got it. Thank you. Now, going to your actual product, is the hemp, is that the same plant used to make marijuana?
Yes, it's the same plant.
Okay.
It's the
Okay. So how do you control the farmer? How do you ensure that the farmer supplies the product to you as opposed to,
right.
they provide their, I guess, hemp
No,
leaves to
yeah, yeah.
those trading the drugs?
Right, right, right. So, currently, basically, what is there? The policy is that the seed is different. So, from the
Mm-hmm.
hemp plant, you don't get marijuana, but the
Mm-hmm.
plant scientific name is same. Like cannabis sativa is the scientific
Okay.
name. So, when
Okay.
you ask me if it is the same plant, it is the same plant.
Mm-hmm.
But the seed is modified, or the seed is different for hemp plant and
Mm-hmm.
marijuana plant. So, hemp plant,
Okay.
there would be no marijuana.
Okay. And how does the fabric is produced? How is that
What?
the hemp fabric?
Hemp
You have
fabric?
yeah, yeah, hemp fashion. Yeah, what is how does that
Okay. वो
where
देखो
is it made
हाँ
from?
I'll just show you वो hem fiber
Yeah.
hemp yarn वो brick भी लेके आया so from the hemp stem और ये yarn so from the hemp stem basically you get something like this which is the raw fiber so this is the
Mm-hmm.
raw form of the fiber this is further processed to make a hemp yarn
Mm-hmm.
like a loom a proper
Yep.
so this is made from it and then you can actually make a fabric out of it. I'll show you an t-shirt or so you can actually make different kinds of fabric.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like a bag fabric that you will see,
Mm-hmm.
and this is something that we have made on the handloom fabric. So
I
this is
see.
like a Yes, and then you can also make finished goods like this is a t-shirt, a
Mm-hmm.
hemp t-shirt, and like a lot of things. So fiber is a big market basically,
I
and
see. I see.
it's because it's the most sustainable fabric, most it's the oldest fabric also. Like at one
Mm-hmm.
time in the earth, everybody used to wear hemp fabric only, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like antimicrobial, sweat resistant, and so if you see hemp fabric, like it's coming from the hemp plant only, the same plant only, but just
Mm-hmm.
the its stalks are very long, so it grows up to 15 feet. Height wise, it grows up to 15 feet in height, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why the longest fiber. And from that
Mm-hmm.
longest fiber, you can get like the longest yarn, better looms, and
Yeah.
you can then process it in hand looms as well as
Mm-hmm.
power looms.
I see. I see. So you have three different products, right? One is the hemp food, another being the oil and skincare, and another being the hemp fashion. Do you have your
Right.
own manufacturing facility, or do you outsource those processing and manufacturing?
No, so we have our own processing unit, we have our own manufacturing unit for the whole hemp
Hmm.
food range. So anything that is food, even hemp seed oil, uh,
Yeah,
Jyoti hemp seed oil और ये सब products food के
yeah.
तो hemp seed oil हो गया hemp seed oil and hemp seed flour and all of these things basically we make at our unit only.
Hmm.
So products like this basically hemp seed flour oil. So these all things basically we process in our own facility only, and
Hmm.
we package it and everything. And this is
Yeah.
the hemp seed oil,
Hmm.
right? So and other things like hemp. So what we do from the hemp seed oil only, you make hemp skin care, like
Hmm.
cream and other things you make from the same oil only that we process here.
Yeah.
So we supply to other manufacturer who basically
Hmm.
manufactures it for us. So it's a contract
Yeah.
manufacturing for the skin care
Hmm.
and fabric and other things. So we have do the primary processing. The
Hmm.
handloom unit is basically here in Kasar Devi only. So we use that facility and
Yeah.
uh, and there are something that we also trade for fabric. Hmm. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Sorry for. Okay.
Okay. So, oh, okay.
Yes. 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 I'm listening.
今何かを見せようとしてくれてたのかな？それとも単に信号が悪くて外に行ったのか？Yeah. Okay,
Hmm.
Pavitra. Yeah, you're back.
Yes. 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 So
Okay. Yeah, go
yes,
ahead, please.
like that only.
Continue.
Yes, yes. So fabric, another thing, we work in both models. So we work with weavers here, the local weavers, and that is basically through an MOU. We don't have our own unit or our own weaving unit, but we partner with
Mhm.
them for production, which is again here only in Kasar Devi, the weaving unit, and also in Bageshwar. So primary processing is done here, and then there's
Mhm.
other things like maybe finished goods, which we get from other players and like that. Like if it's a mill fabric, then we don't process it here because we don't have facility in the Himalayas.
Okay, but the hemp fashion, right? Do you sell under your brand?
Yes, yes, yes. We sell under our brand.
Okay,
Even skincare and other things also we sell our brand under our.
okay, got it. Okay, okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Shinichi-san, Satoko-san, if you have any questions.
Oh,
ミュート
I
に
think
し
you're
て
on mute.
ください。ミュート。
Hi. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your presentation, but please let me know that what is your most biggest revenue from? Is it food or clothes?
Uh, so, quite honestly, because we have been doing it now for like last 2 years and last 2 to 3 years basically, and hemp is a very new sector still. Like it's still not as prominent as maybe cotton, or as prominent as any other food also. Like it's not really a dairy product also, and it's not really like a cotton and fabric also. So it's still an upcoming this thing, and what I see is that there's an almost even if not 50-50%, then you know from all the categories that we do, skincare, fashion, food, and other things, it's almost like 30-30-30% revenue would come. Because so I can tell you that from the food that we do, it's mostly B2B business, more business to business kind of this thing, where we supply and manufacture for other players also, right? We sell them in bulk. Like hemp seed oil, we supply to cosmetic companies also in bulk. Like people will order 100 liters, like companies like Forest Essentials, any company which kind of uses skin or makes skincare products, they will, they can use hemp seed oil and other things also. Similarly, for hemp uh, fashion also, there are companies which take fabric in bulk, and there are companies like when we sell t-shirts and other things, then that is through retail, uh, mostly through our own stores only. So from our store only, we have done an aggregate revenue of around 40 lakhs rupees in the last 3 years, and store is 2 years basically. Uh, so it's more, currently we have been more focused on retail and building the retail network. And then we have a lot of referencing, because hemp is still very new. Like cotton, you can find anywhere in the world, or, hemp for like a genuine hemp uh, resource person, it's basically all the leads are coming to us because we are sitting on the raw material, and we also process it here, and people can come and visit us also anytime because our factory is open. We are happy to show them how we do it, and it's like that.
Mm. Well, even if it is a B2B business, it looks from your the financial statement, it's still kind of profitable business, I think. But
Yes, yes, yes.
uh, what is the focus of 2023, roughly, uh, on the revenue side?
Last year or this year?
Yeah. Uh,
No, like previous year or this year focus?
yes, this year focus to 20, no, I mean
2024.
yes, last year.
Okay, last year. Uh, so last year again, so I would be very honest, so I'm a first time entrepreneur, so no experience in entrepreneurship. So the last 2 years or 3 years, we experimented heavily basically, like tried to do a lot of things,
Mm.
and learned through failure, like kind of that, but also did everything in the same field, like around hemp, and understanding how it will go, because it's hemp is also very new. It's not something which is very popular, or not really something which it is popular, but not really something which is as big as anything else. So we did our experiments last year. Our focus was to increase our revenue through, like, make our retail outlet proper. We wanted to expand, so we opened another retail outlet in Mukteshwar, which is in Nainital district, which is again in Uttarakhand, Kumaon region only. So we expanded to another place. Started supplying our products to more locations in India and export also. So we sent our products to Turkey also. So that way we were expanding, and then the product line. So we experimented last year. I won't say that we tried to contain our SKUs or contain our product list. We rather tried to make it big last year. And this year, after all the experimentations, after all the learnings from last year and last 3 years, I would say, I'm kind of making it a more um, perfect model. I'm targeting more perfection. Till until last year, the focus was maybe profitability and not perfection. This year, it's perfection with profitability, like that from this year onwards. So now I have a clear strategy, clear vision. Uh, until last year, it was more about finding the vision, what to do, where to. So we have been profitable because we do like lot of B2B business, trading also, and other things also. So that has kept us profitable, and that has also kept me like I started at very young age. At 22 years old, I had started when I was so there was no financial resources that I had. And I'm 27 right now. So in the last 5 years, like a lot of experimentation and everything, I've learned a lot of things. So now I have even enough financial resources also and things. So to get the whole vision clear. The vision is to work on hemp seed and hemp fiber and grow the ecosystem here, work on technologies, hemp technologies, and on the impact side, work with more farmers so that value addition can still happen here. Most of the value addition, if not 100%, then target 60 to 70% value addition here in the Himalayas. And then when we sell or then when we do bulk trading or anything, then again we get maybe 15 rupees or maybe 20 rupees more. So that again increases the what is going to the farmer.
Okay.
So we have reinvested a lot of money into business basically. So like last 2 to 3 years, I also didn't take any salary from the company. So it was more like experimentation, run as a personal project, kind of understanding and learning. But from this year onwards, it's more focused towards building a more focused towards building systems in the company, I would say. So the system mapping and building system into the company is happening from this year.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So just back to the hemp little bit.
Yes,
Or,
yes, yes, yes.
there are lots of hemp-related products in Auroville.
Right,
So,
right, right.
all those hemp, where do they cultivate? Where is the typical place in India?
So all the hemp in India is actually coming from Uttarakhand only. Because it is the only state which has the traditional knowledge firstly, and it has been part of the traditional cultivation system as well. I'll just share a link. Uh, and it's also like Uttarakhand is the only legally accepted place where they are growing hemp legally. And so that's how like the whole monopoly of the thing is with Uttarakhand. And we have been sitting in Uttarakhand. So wherever, whosoever is working in hemp in India, I mean, and even now across the world, because we keep doing like a lot of events and LinkedIn has kind of connected everyone. So we are in touch and like this company in Oroville, they take raw material from us. We even have that invoice where we have sent hemp seeds to them. Uh, and we because we with our farmers we are kind of able to collect in quantities like large quantities, and we are able to process it uh, in our facility. So I'll just show you. Actually, I'm sitting in my facility only. So if you see, this is the whole hemp seed material, and this is the whole construction. So behind me, this wall is actually made of hemp, like this wall. This is the factory. This is the inside of the factory. So this wall is actually hemp plaster. This whole space, and above it is tin,
Mm.
and this whole room basically. So this is the all glass, so that we can get Nanda Devi view every day.
Okay.
And this is
So
the
wait.
first floor.
Okay. So just
Yeah.
since you are talking about the building, so hemp house, you use the wood and hemp or what? Or you use everything with the hemp?
No, 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 no. So you use hemp stalks, like stem of the hemp plant, And there are 3 ways that you can do. So France is actually quite a big hemp building place basically. So France is where like a lot of work has been done globally in terms of hemp building. But what how you can actually, like, simple thing is you mix hemp stem, you make powder of it, or you make like small chives, it is called chives, and then you use it with lime. You use it with lime and water, and you just make a this thing, and then you can make a brick also, like a brick also out of it. So it's called hempcrete. It's called hempcrete. Or you can just use it as a plaster material to basically on the walls. So it helps you with sound insulation. It is fireproof, waterproof. There would be no fungal growth or anything. Pest proof also. So you kind of are building so that's why we have used it in a factory, so that no pest is there on the raw material. It is fireproof, and it is also kind of insulating. So in the summers, it is cool, and in the winters, it is bearable. It's like that.
うんうん。OK, OK. そして、OK. And OK, then back to the production of the hemp. So
Yes.
before you start this business, the hemp seed people are cultivating, right? So,
Yes, yes, yes. Before also.
so there are other buyers of hemp seed and hemp fire, right? Other than
Yes,
you.
yes, yes.
Mm,
Yes. So in Uttarakhand only, there's a big local consumption. uh,
mm,
because we use it in our food. It's like a local ingredient in our food basically, and it's specific to this area. It's like how you will say there's a big consumption of sushi in Japan, maybe, like right,
mm,
like the biggest maybe. So in Uttarakhand, and especially in Kumaon, there's a big consumption of hemp seed in our food. So we
mm,
will use it to make a sauce. We will use it in our food, in our diet basically. So that's where, like, local economy, like every shopkeeper, like the local kirana shop, like the local
mm,
retailer will have that hemp seed. They will sell hemp seeds
mm, mm,
before. And before, if it was like 40 rupees kg,
mm,
now it is 200 rupees kg since last 3 years. Since we have come into picture, and it's just so that's the farmer price I'm telling you. Like
mm,
farmer used to get maybe 40 rupees kg, now they are getting 200 rupees kg. It's
mm,
just that there's so much boom in the whole space
mm,
now. Because there's like a lot of value addition. Before there was no value addition. So hemp seed was just used as maybe like cumin and other this thing, like other ingredient, just to cook, and just to make a sauce or things like that. But
mm,
now it is used to make hemp seed oil, like industrial applications are there. Now we are making oil in our facility. So people are also getting aware, oh, there are so many uses. This is also
mm,
there.
mm, mm. Okay. And so when you say traditional cultivation, what is traditional way? What is the difference? Is there any, modern cultivation and traditional
It is
cultivation?
actually belong.
Yeah. Why you say it the traditional cultivation? What is the special about it? あ、固まった。固まった。固まっちゃいましたね。私それとも固まってるの
やったね。はい。はい。
あっちですよね。私じゃないですよね。固まってんの。
うん、向こうだと思います。はい。
ああ、そうですよね。これなんかなんか栽培方法とかが気になるんですね、私は。どういうふうに栽培してるのか。
今、段々畑のあれを、はい、チャットに振ってましたけど。
どういうふうに、段々畑が、
は
トラディショナルウェイってことそういうことか。ウッドラカンド。な
多分、なんか今、
るほどね。
はい。
いや、要はなんか栽培方法が、これ、オーガニックなのかとか、なんかそういう、そのヘンプの栽培方法そのものと、それから資材のことは聞いたし、さっき記事とかの話は聞いてくださったので、あとはなんかテクノロジーの話、サプライチェーンでテクノロジーがっていうのがなんかアプリケーションに書いてあったので、そのサプライチェーンを終わりするために。それ何かっていうのを聞こうと思ってました。で、あとはもう、 色紙とか、もうなんか時間なので、
そうですね。はい。
もらえればいいかなと思ったんですけど、その2つだけ聞こうと思ってたんですが、ごめん
あ、
なさい。
どうぞ。はい。今戻ってきました。
いいですか？
Hello.
はい。
Sorry.
Okay, you're
That's
back.
okay. That's okay.
Yes, yes. Sorry,
Uh,
network.
yeah.
Yes.
That's okay. So I want to know the way to cultivate because it depends on as you know, agriculture or any kind of production, agricultural production can be harmful, can be good for the, biodiversity. So how these are cultivated using chemicals,
Right, right.
organic,
No,
regenerative, those kind of things.
right. So, this part of the world is just like Sikkim, basically, in terms of fertilizer use. So, there's no fertilizer use, and hemp as a crop also. I'll just switch off my video. I think there's some network issue. So, just
Yeah.
for
Sure.
this.
Sure.
So, yeah. So hemp as such also does not require fertilizer. It
Mm,
grows organically, and basically it is a like you get better qualities if you go higher altitude.
mm,
In terms of the yield and fiber quality and the seed quality. The thickness of the seed is
mm,
basically what is. So thickness of seed will also determine the oil content. So if there is more oil in the seed, then it is better yielding for us also, and
mm,
like that. So it grows without fertilizer. It also itself is a very natural nitrogen and potassium fixer for the soil. So
mm,
uh, whenever you grow hemp, it kind of helps with the nitrogen fixation, and the next crop is always better. So there's no fertilizer needed for the next crop also.
mm,
And it requires less water also, like almost no negligible water. So it's a rain crop. So we sow it here in the June, July basically period.
mm,
Maybe from next month onward, the field preparation will start. June onwards, when the rain starts in India, here in the place, it will be sown, like it will be, sown. And then there's traditional way of there's basically the farmers, local farmers, they will just disperse the seed, like just throw them, and it grows organically without much addition of without no fertilizer at all. And
mm,
every farmer here will have cows and other things, even goats and other things. So if
mm,
they want to use like natural, they use the natural manure only for the
mm,
soil tilling and other things also most of the time. So like lot of places here, they are actually applying for organic status
mm,
from the district, from the village itself, so that the whole village can be certified organic, just like how they did in Sikkim.
mm,
So there are people, because they don't use fertilizers for cultivation and other things. So people are trying to form alliances and FPOs and other organized farmer producer organizations, so that they can reach out to the local government and get that village uh, certifications.
mm, mm, mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Thank
hemp
you.
is like hemp grows in 4 months, 4 to 5 months. So it
Mm-hmm.
is harvested around November, December. So
Mm,
it's a currently it is one season crop. So it's like
mm,
we grow it only in one season, and then it is harvested, and the raw material is aggregated for the entire year,
mm,
basically.
mm. Okay. Thank you. Another question is that about the technology that you mentioned in the application, that that technology can be used in a supply chain. What do you mean? あ、また固まった。また固まった。また固まった。
Yes, yes.
はい。
はい。
Sorry. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So my next question is about the technology. You mentioned about the technology in application form that you have a specific technology in a supply chain. What do you mean by that?
Yes. So I'll just share with you basically what we are trying to develop
Hmm.
in that.
Hmm.
I'll just so here you can basically see. So this is Uttarakhand's map. that you can see.
Mm.
And you can see two locations that we are working on, Kasar Devi and Bageshwar. These are two areas. So in Kasar Devi, this is the status. It's already live. So Kasar Devi is area where we have been working now for last 3 years. Like, and before that also, before incorporation also. And so here we have been directly engaged with 400 farmers. We use facility, we process. So here we set up our own facility for raw material, for basically hemp seed. So we have our own facility for hemp seed oil and other technology. We have also done fiber stocks. We made the whole factory with around 400, 500 kgs of hemp stocks when we used it for construction. And now in Bageshwar, we want to work on, the whole concept of handloom, basically from fiber to handloom, basically the India's hemp, that will be India's hemp story. And we are trying to build the whole model is basically uh, micro hub cluster, like this hub and spoke model. I think you would have this hub and spoke model. We want to actually work on micro hubs because in the Himalayas and this all of these areas are actually quite far. And I mean, just like how I would say Ladakh, places here are actually more far off and more remote. So for anyone to come to my place, there's no direct flight also. Like from flight, at least it is 10 hours drive. Like you will land up in Delhi and then further land to Kasar Devi, it is 10 hours drive. And to Bageshwar, to where we work in Bageshwar and all around that area, another 10 hours drive. So almost 20 hours drive from Delhi. The nearest airport is Delhi. And so that way, basically, it's very remote. So we are trying to work on micro clusters and link them with technology so that all the data that we are building, the farmer network that we are building, the seed quality, because there's no optimization and standardization of the quality so far. And I'm talking globally. And once we are able to do that in India, and then we have like uh, big export demand from across the nations, like even in Japan, even in other countries, uh, and even Southeast Asia, like Korea, South Korea also. Like all of these countries have big demand for hemp, natural fiber, as well as natural food, and even skincare and other things can also. It's just I mean tag along kind of thing. But for the fiber, it's a big demand for hemp fiber. So we actually did the whole mapping for fiber, you can see. So this is hemp fiber and global hemp fiber market is basically this much. It is growing at 33.57 percentage and it is going to be USD 73 billion by 2030. So, and there's a big demand for fiber, and this is Indian hemp fiber photo also that we have used, that we are processing in Bageshwar. So there's a big, even if our idea is to in the next 5 years just to tap into 30% of the market. That is also like a big number and like more ambitious plan. So even if we are able to do like 10-15% in the next 2 to 3 years with all the R&D, all the work that we are doing, then we have big scope. And this is hemp seed market basically. So and all of this is like global data, global, and this is currently the status of global countries. Like what is the status? So China basically does in terms of this is thousands of tons of material. So China currently leads the whole this thing, and countries don't want to import from China, especially fiber and all of these things because of like a lot of reasons. But this is because of the whole status. So France is again there. I was saying Canada is there, rest of Europe. So all of these countries have a big demand, and these are the production capacities of these countries. So when we actually give them Himalayan hemp, there's of course going to be better demand, big demand for that, because it's a niche, and we are also not trying to replicate what they are doing. What we are actually trying to do is work, which is like India's strength, handlooms. So fiber to handloom, basically, which is non-existent anywhere in the world. So when we actually work on handloom with all the women weavers, there will be actually a big demand. This is the global production of hemp map, where how many countries. So all the green countries that you see, there are already demand. Australia is big. You can see India. You can see all of these like European continent, North American continent. So all of these places, maybe in the Middle East and African nations, you still don't see that. But
Okay, thank you very much.
yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. I think I have to go. I have another
Okay.
meeting.
Sure.
そう、どうしようかな。ちょっとこの後お願いしてもいいですか？すいません。
大丈夫です。はい。
はい。
So, Pavitra,
Sorry,
so,
Pavitra, I have to go, but yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
うんうんうん。
so Pavitra, if you could stay now, we got a few more questions, just as we wrap up the meeting. So to achieve your goal that you have just talked about, up to achieve the objectives you just talked about, what's your plan for the fundraising going forward?
Right. Uh, so currently, there are three discussions basically that are happening simultaneously. Our
Mhm.
main vision is to basically invest around 1 CR into the business right now, roughly like uh, so roughly around 130,000 US dollars, somewhere around that into the business. Because so
Mhm.
far we are bootstrapped. We have not taken any money from any investors. So and we have run it as a profitable model, self-sustaining as the company. So now we want to pivot. So the idea with pivot is to uh, scale in terms of both. There's already a demand, so we want to play the catch-up game first. So
Mhm.
the whole demand mapping, firstly. Second is building the our groundwork or homework for fiber and seed production capacities. So we first thing that we want to work on is basically for the fiber. So we want to invest around 25 lakh rupees there. Uh, I'll say my figures in Indian rupees if that's
Sure,
fine.
that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like to invest around INR 25 lakh rupees into building the whole fiber ecosystem. So we already have the same farmers who are doing that, but
Mhm.
building the weaving facility, building the procurement facility and warehousing facility for the fiber. And that again, from that, when we are able to do that, it is going to be how we have planned it out is basically it is going to be self-profitable and sustainable also in the after 1 year of operations.
Mhm.
So, but building that will require around INR 25 lakh rupees. Then our second objective is to build a team for one is sales and marketing and innovation basically. So we want to um, second main thing is building the team and
Mhm.
building the team which kind of takes care of the whole our operations and sales.
Mhm.
And when I say sales, we are planning to expand into 5 locations in Kumau itself, which are
Mhm.
company owned and company operated. It's like retail outlets. So we have 2 retail outlets currently. So we're planning to open 3 more. And each
Mhm.
of them require an investment of around, it's very minimal, around 10 lakh rupees into building the whole inventory,
Mhm.
insides and everything. And those locations actually help us, increase our presence firstly
Yep.
and also act as hubs, micro hubs also for us for like
Mhm.
creating local employment in the Himalayas also.
Okay.
And so that's why all our retail outlets and everything is going to be in this geography only. We have
Mhm.
tourist economy here and we want to tap into that. So we have 12 months tourist economies uh, in the places that we are around in the Kumaon region. So we're
Yep.
planning that and then expand into shop and shop, and like we want to partner with more players in the market across India.
Mhm.
Firstly, build it like from inside to outward. So firstly India, and then also see other players, agents and other things who are already expanding, who already have some footing in other countries like Japan
Yep.
and Southeast Asia. And we want to
Mhm.
maybe not go there directly, but initially through somebody which is more feasible for us. And
Mhm.
that is how we are planning actually. And for that, again, we will need some investment. And then the capacities that we have, uh, like the whole capacity of processing that we have, we'll
Mhm.
invest some amount there, which is again going to be around INR 20 lakh rupees. And
Yep.
then the most essential part, after we are like operationally, once we are done doing this, we will invest our time and into the technology that we have been talking about, basically the whole
Mhm.
optimization. So we are going to have modules there for quality control. We are going
Yep.
to also, our focus is to build it uh, academically also very strong as a model, because
Mhm.
there's no social enterprise or there's no enterprise which exists in this part of the world. So when I
Yep.
started, I was like the first private limited in this area. So
I
our
see.
plan is to also build it academically, a very strong case for the world to how to work in the
Uh,
Himalayas or how to work in the mountains. So lot of work into developing modules into the whole farmer engagement, how to engage with farmers, how to do the processing, and then also
yep.
on the sales side. And that
Mm.
we want to optimize with technology also for both
I
fiber
see.
and seed.
Okay. Okay. And are you mostly talking to the local investors?
Yes, yes, yes. So
Okay.
we
Okay.
have one partner coming. I mean, one partner that is quite big in India, and otherwise, we are talking to Social Alpha basically currently.
I see. Okay. Okay. And as far as our business competition, CSI challenge is concerned, uh, we have a couple of prizes. One is the investment from ARUN. So that's an investment up to $50,000. And another being
Right.
the grant at up to
Right.
$25,000 from Deloitte.
Right.
Now, if you are to obtain the $50,000 investment from ARUN, how do you
Right.
plan to use that?
Uh, so So our is currently very this thing. I mean, we have a clear vision with terms of. I'll say. I'll just tell you the. I have it actually noted down. So I'll just open the document so that
Hmm?
it's clear for both of us. Yes. Yes. So in the growth plan, basically we're focusing on the growth plan. One is
Hmm?
like opening company-owned, company-run retail outlets, basically
Yep.
expanding the micro hub model in terms of like the whole processing and also the retail outlet. So it's gonna be together. That is where I think our major investment will go into around. I mean, building the whole micro hub, as I said, for the fiber and then the retail network
Yep.
also. If we expand, we already have two, which we have done so far, expanding into
Hmm.
three more and simultaneously with the micro hub, that requires an approximate investment of around INR 35 to 40 lakhs in
Hmm.
Indian rupees. And basically our focus is that once we are able to do that, these are the outcomes of that. We will definitely reach 10,000 farmers in the next 3 years. That's just an outcome of that. And then once we are able to do that, we will definitely increase the whole distribution also. But major investment will go into expanding the micro hubs, processing for the fiber, and then also the company owned retail outlets along with it. So that creates every micro hub is self-sustainable. That's the whole idea. Like every micro hub is self-sustainable because we have a retail outlet also there. So
Yep.
that kind of takes care of the the cost of the person there, processing there, and employees there. So it and then the
Hmm.
farmer network, because major funds actually go into like honestly speaking, funds here go into logistics. In when we are working in remote geography, our funds will go into logistics. Our funds go into operations basically, like lot of travel, tourism, like lot of travel to these offbeat places, and collection, farmer engagement, lot of funds, which is unaccounted for, go into these kind of things. So when we build a micro hub, it will be much easier for us to connect with all the farmers through spokes. And when we invest there around 40 lakhs rupees, we can actually work out the other things there. And then we want to invest INR 15 to 20 lakhs rupees in the technology. The technology will be for fiber processing, for the blockchain, or rather and this also includes the module building that I was talking about. Module for processing, module for quality control, module for, because hemp is a very new space, and if we are able to do that, we will be pioneer in that. We will be like really, yeah.
Okay.
And other things will be just part of the whole thing. Like team building will happen when we expand. That is kind of taken care in the INR 40 lakh rupees. So team building for all these other micro hubs and other things will definitely happen there only.
Okay.
What do you mean by a module?
Uh,
What?
so module, yes, yes.
Yeah.
So uh,
Each village is a module, like.
yeah. Like each village, not just like not really each village. It's more like building SOPs, standard operating protocols for like lot of things, like operating protocols for one is how to process, how to see hemp as a resource. What is a better quality fiber? Compare it with do the whole study of hemp fiber in India versus hemp fiber in China versus hemp fiber in France, so that we can tell the world that this is as good as, or better, or as good as, or this may be used for this particular use. So those kind of studies, those kind of content, those kind of literature. So we want to build that literature so that we can compare or compete with China and other countries who are doing on hemp fiber and hemp seeds. That is basically a comparative study. And then when we do the whole quality control and quality management for hemp, we can actually do it. We can actually work it as a very big academic, and also even not just academically, but it is also helping us in business. Because once we set those operating protocols, we will be able to, optimize the whole value chain. Like when farmer is sorting and grading, what quality we need to procure or what quality we need to obtain. Once we tell the farmer, this is what you have to do, this is how you have to sort and clean, this is the technology that you use, then they will also feel comfortable and advanced, and they will get more basically money, or rather more profit of the harvest of the cultivation that they do. Currently, not just in India, but anywhere in the world for hemp, there's no such protocols. There's no such this thing. In Europe, there's a lot of fertilizer use. So it is in European countries, there's a lot of fertilizer use. So that's why the cost is higher. And from China, you get very cheap raw material. Like even in India, currently it is getting the hemp fiber I'm talking about. Currently in India also it is getting imported from China. It is called hemp silver. And but we can do the same thing in India and do better quality or similar quality. That is what we want to work on. And once we are able to do that, I mean, we can actually catch, or do 10% to 20% of the global market from India. That is initial 3-year plan. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Pavitra, thank you very much. So let me just explain the process going forward. So you are one of the semi-finalists, and after interviewing all the semi-finalists, we will have the internal selection process, and the result will be announced probably by the end of next week. And out of the semi-finalists, we will select up to 6 to 7 finalists. And if you are selected as a finalist, you'll be expected to appear on our final pitch contest, which is to be held on May 10th. So if you be selected as a finalist, you will be joining us online for the contest on May 10th. And on May 10th, that'll be event will be organized as a public event, and we'll have the 7 judges from the different segment, specialists in the business, specialists in the biodiversity, etc., and they will decide who the winner is.
Okay.
And who the winner is for ARUN's investment, and who the winner will be for the Deloitte Awards as well. So that's how the process works. So we'll keep you posted. And at the same time, we appreciate if you could just pencil in your calendar for the May 10th in the event you are to proceed to the final stage.
What do I have to work on?
Huh?
The
Yes.
last, what did you say in the last line?
Yeah. So yeah, in the event you are selected as a finalist, it'd be appreciated if you could, just earmark your calendar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So Pavitra, do you have any question for us?
So do I have to present similarly in the finals also, or I can change my
Yes.
presentation?
Yeah.
There's a time limit.
Sure, exactly. So we'll have a time limit. So we will provide you the guidance as to where to focus. So you know where how to I guess or make the pitch in the given time limit.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, Pavitra.
No.
Thank you very much for your time, and thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right then. Looking forward to talking to you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you both.
Okay, thank you, Pavitra. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day.
福田さんどうもありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
はい。失礼します。
失礼します。